Vegan honey garlic soy chicken with no soy. I said what I said. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another video. You guys, I know it has been a minute since I have dropped a cooking video, but I wanted to give y'all the full recipe to this vegan garlic honey soy no soy chicken sandwich because it was so bad. It was so delicious. So let me tell you, first of all, I started by cutting and cleaning about 3 stalks of green onion. So I cleaned mine in apple cider vinegar and water. If you don't know, just let it sit there and marinate and clean for about 5 to 10 minutes. After that, you want to give it a nice little rinse, and of course you can see how I'm chopping. So I just chopped the base off, and then I'm just chopping this really small. I decided some coleslaw would be so delicious with this. So in a bowl, I took some coleslaw mix. I did about half of the bag, emptied it into the bowl, and then I added some ingredients. So I added 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, the green onions that I just chopped up, and also some cilantro, just like a handful of chopped cilantro. I'm also going to squeeze half of a lime in here, y'all. This is going to be the same coleslaw recipe that I used for the vegan fish tacos that were so delicious as well. But the difference between this recipe and that recipe is that I use vegan mayo as my binder. If you do not watch my vlog channel, I have already let you guys know that I have started using sour cream. Of course, dairy-free or vegan sour cream instead of vegan mayo. I just have not been feeling the vegan mayo lately, but you can use the vegan mayo. So I'm using about 2 hefty tablespoons of vegan mayo. I think I did add another tablespoon in, but of course you can add that according to your liking. And just remember that when you're mixing this, that the coleslaw mix, it does make water. So once you sit it to the side, it may look dry, but y'all, it's gonna make that water once it sits there. So you don't want to put too much so that it's runny. Unless you like runny coleslaw, then of course that's your prerogative. Next, we're going to make our wet mix, which I am using some just egg, and I'm going to season that up with some onion and garlic powder. I'm also going to be using some poultry seasoning, just a little dash, some Creole seasoning, some paprika, and give that a nice little mix. Now, if you need measurements for the just egg, I really just did it by eye. You can do according to how much vegan chicken that you're making, but this was, I would say, about 1/3 of a cup of just egg. Next, we're going to make our dry mix, and I'm going to do this a little bit different. If you have watched my vegan chicken videos, I normally use flour, but today I'm going to be using some breadcrumbs because I want to give it a different texture. So I'm basically going to season my breadcrumbs up with some Creole seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning, and just give that a nice little mix and set it to the side. On some parchment paper, we're going to go ahead and season up our oyster mushrooms the same way you would do some chicken, okay? So I'm seasoning up with the same things: Creole seasoning, onion powder, and garlic powder, and a little bit of paprika. You can do on both sides depending on how heavy you were with your wet and your dry mix, but I just did one side today and I kept it moving. To get it fried up, we're going to put our oyster mushroom into the wet mix, and then we're going to flip it around, make sure that you have that just egg all over, and then we're going to drop it down into the dry mix and give that a nice little shake. And I will be frying this in some avocado oil today. Of course, you can use whatever type of oil you like, but I find that avocado oil is most healthier, even though it's still fried. That's just what I like to use. As you can see, I'm kind of shallow pan frying my oyster mushrooms because I didn't want to use too much oil to deep fry when I can just flip it. So if you are not using a full pan of oil, then you want to just continue to flip it until it's crispy and golden to your liking. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make the sauce. Okay, for this you can use vegan butter, but I am using some avocado oil and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Giving that a nice little mix around, let it cook down for just about 1 to 2 minutes, and then we're going to add some coconut aminos. So for this recipe, I'm using about 1/4 cup. Of course, again, it's going to depend on how much chicken you're actually making. Okay, so in that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of coconut brown sugar. I'm also going to add some Mike's hot honey. Now listen, if you vegan and you don't eat honey, that's cool. We eat honey over here. I'm using 2 tablespoons of Mike's hot honey, but you can use 2 tablespoons of agave if you do not use honey, okay? Don't get in my comments talking about how honey is not vegan, because I don't care, okay? I'm gonna let you know I don't care. We eat honey. Anyway, give that a nice little mix, and then you want to let this come to a boil because it's going to start to make a thick sauce. So as you can see, it's starting to bubble up. That's exactly what we're looking for, because you know that honey and everything is going to be thickening up. Now with the agave, it does do the same thing as well, because I have tried a similar recipe with some sauce with agave when I did eat agave. But like I said, this is what's going on with the honey, okay? So once it starts to bubble up like this, you want to go ahead and drop down your chicken inside your oyster mushroom, whatever you want to call it, okay? So once you drop it in, you want to make sure to just kind of shake it around and flip it around and get it all evenly coated in that sauce, because baby, we want to taste the sauce, okay? I actually let my vegan chicken sit in there for about 2 minutes while I was just bubbling around it and continue to flip it around. So once it is sauced up to your liking, I just place mine on a cutting board, and I'm gonna just cut mine just to show you how it looks, baby. Oh my God, take a gander. Yes. So with this, I decided to make a sandwich. So I toasted some bread. You can use whatever bread you like, toast, buns, whatever. But I toasted mine on both sides, and then I just put my vegan chicken onto it. I added the coleslaw on top, and then I also added some wickle pickles, y'all. Oh my God, I love me some wickle pickles. It just does it every time. But I do hope that you all enjoyed this recipe. I hope that you do try it, because it busts so freaking bad. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe before you go. Also go subscribe to my vlog channel, and I will see y'all on the next video. We will definitely get these videos back out each week.